Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday, May 26, 2026 Trading Trends with John Salama, CMT, and Rocco, the all-time high multis dog. As always, what's going on? It is a ridiculous day today. There's lots of things going on, lots and lots, all-time highs all over the place, massive breakouts. Just quickly, portfolio moves. Added Korea today. Added semiconductors, SOXX, more, and then pyramided further into UFO, the space ETF that's absolutely on fire today. And then I got out of PDBC, got stopped out on that, also very close to getting stopped out of PFIX. So a very historical day here, all-time highs. Check your balances. You should be fat and giddy as if you're a Knicks fan because they're going to the finals as well for the first time in 27 years. Let us get into the doc here. There is so much going on. There's a good chance if you own something, it is hitting all-time highs today. There's a good reason for that. Let me just share the doc. Hopefully everyone had a splendid Memorial Day. Good weather is here finally upon us. I'm a big summer guy. Let's go. The markets are as well, but can't stop, won't stop. Let's get into it. Look at this. And this is the only way I could really summarize this. Generational risk on vibes. Space, Taiwan, and South Korea massively up. The percentages you'll see in a second, 5 to 9% on those. Okay, as VXX and Indonesia, new 52-week lows. Indonesia has been in a horrendous place. VXX, we were talking about this. That ultimate fear. I wrote an article on Wednesday, I believe, called "Fear Died." VXX, and we were looking for that to get to VXX new 52-week lows, and today it did it. It did it. And how could you not when you have new all-time highs for? Let me take a breath for this one. Qs, SPY, the Schwab Dividend ETF Fund, emerging markets, IWM, South Korea. That's supposed to say SMH. Oopsie doopsie. Tech, average equal weight stock in the S&P 500. SOXX differently market weighted in terms of NVIDIA being the heaviest. SOXX is a little bit more balanced. Taiwan, and of course that UFO ETF. With you have some massive moves within the space with Virgin Galactic, I believe, and AST Mobile and all that stuff. I'm happy to be in UFO. We're going to look at every important chart of the day and the past 5 days and a year-over-year look back for which of these momentum trades are hitting fire right here. And if we have, I almost put in, it's still in my order right now, SMH calls expiring Friday. I don't think this is over yet. I would have a tight, 25% loss, stop loss on the option premium. Looking at the 605 SMH calls. We'll see. I wanted to do it by at least 1 o'clock today. We'll look at all the intraday charts and everything that is muy tante, obviously, as we do have Rocco here. All right, let us get into the dashboard panel. It is, Memorial Day weekend, so we're all obviously just a little bit slow getting back into it. Here we go. All right, my God, Micron up 17%, earnings, schmurnings, it doesn't matter. Guaranteed, basically Sunrise and then Micron gapping up. It's crazy, kind of a meme thing. Up 18% just today, and if you want to laugh, year to date, it is not even June. The stock's up 208%, and year over year up 840%. So this is where money is going. NVIDIA, again, 213. It's flat today. Q's up 1.4. The bell of the ball, I believe it's leading all indices in 2026, and this was the clunker, right? Because of all the weak software. Tesla up 1%. AMD up 6%. This stock is closing in on $500. Absolutely insane. Who knew? There's a 3X semi ETF at 50%. Micron, the stock is up 17, 1 for 1. That's absolutely insane. Note, this is a 3X Degen semis ETF, and this is beating it on one day. Absolutely insane. Microsoft down 1%. Marvell up 5. Apple, that is a new all-time high for Apple, up 310. So everyone is literally richer, from your grandmother to Berkshire. Everyone that owns the index up with that paltry 30 bips. Amazon going the other way, down 1.1%. Qualcomm up 3. If it's a semi, they're gobbling up today. Broadcom, like I said, up 2. SMH up 3.5. IWM up 1.5. And let's settle there for that for the intraday. All right, here's the dashboard panel. Very low volume today, by the way. I believe SPY is on track, almost all-time highs. Not atypical to have quiet volume on big rallies, but we're on pace for about 35 to 40 million shares, which is about 6 to 8 million under average, or about like 20-ish% tops. We'll see if they surge into 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But this was interesting tape I observed here. So we peaked at 10:30. So again, here's the opening bar, and they loved it. Bit of a Dikembe rejection here, 1030. They got a little bit too ambitious. Someone bid it all the way up to 752. And no joke, no headlines, nothing coming out like that. A half hour later, it sunk all the way to 750. So, $2.50. And they continue to find a low here. And then right here, I saw the buyer step in at 749. So the RSI holds 50 as well. This is when you use technical indicators, not to form your bias, but I used to confirm things. Obviously I wanted to see 50 hold here, and I wanted to see some green bar set up instead of red on incline on heightening volume. It started to hit a cap here, and then I started to see some green bars here. The euro closed, and let me see if there was a little bit of a regime shift. I still like it. I'm watching it, although do understand we are under a moving south view up. Again, this is just on the intraday tape, but right now I do like the candles getting higher up here, and I like the floor here at 749. But for right now, it looks like that resistance holds on the day. We'll see at 750. But let me be honest here. There's a massive global bull rally going on. Let us zoom out. That's just an intraday. Immediately, what sticks out to me is I don't like the bearish divergence here. Yes, you're at scratching 70 RSI, and I love that, but I don't like this candle on the top here that we pierced 752, and now it's closing under view up on that day. It looks like you blew your wad early, kind of what happened with the Sixers and the Knicks, or with the Celtics. They beat them in their home floor, eliminated them, whoa, and then woof, get out the brooms. The Knicks sweep them, although the Knicks been sweeping everybody, it seems. So this looks like, we'll see how it closes today. But again, that big level is 750. I want to see if it gets above it, and then if we get back to 752. But look at this again, just absolutely since the ceasefire. I mean, this is still where I'm living here in this marketplace. When the ceasefire happened and we gapped up 2.5% on April 8th, we are still above 60 RSI since then. So this market, if someone gets out in front of you in line and says, nah, too rich for my blood, there are other people behind you bidding up this market. And that's why Micron's up 17% in a day. Okay, so, you never try to anticipate these moves. They can go far higher and be irrational much longer than your account. Looking back at the tape here, what I'd said before was May 14th to me was the cap of that part of the rally. Right here, I saw this candle here. I said right here, I'm looking for, of course, mean reversion, and the rubber band goes one way and to the other. Don't forget this massive run we had of green days from March 31st, basically through April 17th. I said, whoa, we have to get our breath at some point, right? And then I saw a higher base go, and of course, off to the races. May 14th, I was calling for kind of a 15-day consolidation, taking us into the 29th to get built up again. I was looking for a tag of our 21-day exponential moving average, totally normal place to take a breather. That is around 732. The thing is, so it happened on the 19th, 5 days later. Sometimes the market gives you a lot and a little, or a little and a lot. What it did do is on the 19th, it got down to 731.5. And then now we are going off into the races. In terms of the cycles thing again, in terms of 15 days, again, I was calling for all-time highs, new all-time highs going into mid-June. It came here obviously a little bit early. I see bullish accumulation here for the next 2 weeks. VXX hitting 52-week lows, SPY in every index and their uncle and aunt hitting all-time highs is confirmation of this. My upward trajectory, to be frank, is around 755. So it shot its brains out a little bit early today, 752. I do think we get back there. We do retrace. We do a little bit of this, that, and then again going higher towards mid-June. Probably close to about 755, 760 is my target. Again, this market's been absolutely on fire. Let us see what they are gobbling today, because I could have picked, honestly, any number of ETFs, but we're going to go with what's got massive volume and talk of the town. If you got a ticker and you're watching, put it in, and I'll take a look-see. I'm glad to be in this. I actually really got nerdy and researched the turtle rules because I looked at a UFO ETF about a week and a half ago, and I said, I don't think Richard Dennis, the King Turtle, would invest in a UFO ETF. But you know what? If it's liquid and it's trending and it fulfills a non-correlation cap and uncorrelated alpha, he would get into it. So I got into it, and my goodness, I pyramided again. Like I said, the major holder of this, I believe Rocket Labs, is up 15 or 20% or something insane. Hence why this is up 7-8%. Like I said, I pyramided more this morning. It's been wonderful. Why are we talking about it today? It is the biggest Sigma mover today in this massive tape to new all-time highs. And this one has history, by the way, UFO. There's NASA. It's only been trading for 3 months. It came out the same day as DRAM. So people are just snorting absolute risk on. This UFO actually has a track record. I think it's been trading for years and years. So I like that. I could actually do technicals on it, not an instrument that's been out for 2 months and people just chase it to the ceiling. So I like doing this here. Beautiful chart. This looks like gold when gold was just untouchable. They're not even thinking about selling this when it gets close to 200-day moving average. So this is spec, but honestly a very strong representation of tech risk on. I like it. It's up 7.5% today. My target, to be honest, was around $64, and this is why you buy the breakouts and you use a trailing stop. It doesn't have to do exactly what I think it's going to do. You get on a boat and you move the rudders and you think it's exactly going to hit this wave exactly. No, I want to be on the boat, and that's the whole part of trading. You want to be on the boat. I'm not going to call this. I'm not going to call that. I'm trying to do directions. So UFO here, this thing is off into the races. It's 78 RSI. Again, the only way I chart craziness like this is through the ATR. It's 250 ATR, so you can buy it right here, right now. I use a 2 ATR stop for it. So if it moves against you by $5, so 66.5 to 61.5, get out, because it's probably having a massive mean reversion closer to $56, which is this 21-day exponential moving average. This is good information. Use it. The only way I would do this, I wouldn't really use same-day calls. I don't think UFO has it. It's got big volume on the stock. I'll just do what I said. This thing moves 7% in a day sometimes. The ATR is $2 on a 66 stock. So it's a massive move every day. I'm happy to be in it. I told you how I bought it, and I'm participating. So that is that. Number two, man, I wrote an article last week. I said the bull market has a passport, and boy, does it. The next two are Geo ETFs, and they are moving insane, more than some of the single stocks hitting all-time highs today, like a Morgan Stanley, and there's many stocks hitting all-time highs. Apple, EWT, a Geo ETF, and obviously with the semi exposure it has, is absolutely rip-roaring. I got into Korea, so I didn't want too much emerging market, kind of risk, but this looks just off into the races. This really gets begun. It's 2-week accumulation here. Look at this beautiful candle here. Look at that floor that they stuck in here at $89. That lasts through the going back from the end of April here. Just an amazing chart. This reminds me of the UFO chart. Last time this had hard times was last June with a 52 handle, basically a double. In terms of targets, right around here, I would only deploy a stop system, a breakout system for this. It's 273 ATR. 2 exit is basically $5.40. So it's about 102. You can get in right here, right now. If it drops to, 96.5, thereabouts, get out. It's probably going to 92. And this way you can still participate in the upside should we be wrong and it goes to 105. You make those points. The whole thing with the breakout system, the risk management, 2x ATR stop loss is, risk management so things don't get absolutely out of hand, but you obviously still want to participate. Okay. Let us move on to number 3, and I'm so happy this popped up. And this is an insane mover. They're totally degens over there. On Young again. I always love when I see South Korea break out to new highs because I immediately put the order in. This is up 9%. This is a country, okay? This isn't Apple. This isn't Marvell. This is 9% for South Korea. Do trees grow to the sky? I've never seen one. I've never seen a tree grow to the sky. This EWI is trying to change my opinion of that. This is crazy. Guess what? This is going to have also a bullish accumulation for 2 weeks. My target for this is, I should say, right around 202. So it's $4 away. It's insane. It's up 9% in one freaking day. View up on the day is 197. This looks wonderful. You do have a bearish divergence here on new all-time highs. You can't scratch a 67 in the RSI, so I don't love that. It lets me know I am not shocked at all if this has a plunge, and you've seen in Korea many times that this goes to 177 in the very short near term, just as that digests these massive gains and continues higher. So I'll be stopped out, hence why you use the ATR stops. You want to get in the system right here, right now, your levels are, it's $9. So it's $18, nice and easy peasy, mac and cheesy, as the children say. So 198. If it gets you down to 180, get out, because it's probably going to 173, and then you get in at a better entry. I just got fulfilled in an order of my P-Fix. I am out of that trade for a marginal loss, and I'll probably deploy that capital into some other just absolute risk on stuff that's going on. What are they liquidating at the expense of all these gains? There are some things, my goodness. Volatility, we hardly knew ya. Rest in peace. Down 3.5%. There it is. We were looking for. I said if S&P is going to hit new all-time highs, my exact words were mid-June. I do expect VXX to hit new 52-week lows, and voila, that caret here denotes new 52-week low. Yes, there is also a bullish divergence here in terms of it's a new 52-week low, and you couldn't even scratch 30 on the RSI at 32. Lets me know that this could have a little perk up if, I don't know, the Donald says something about Iran or what he ate for lunch. It doesn't really matter. But this is, again, the fear took a massive, massive dump. Financial term, of course, April 7th, when that ceasefire was announced, the next day it was down 10%. And that is just, Saquon ran away from you, never to recover. He broke away from you. So here, in terms of a low here, again, 25 even had been my target. Don't forget the prior 52-week high had come in January when we had that uber tranquility phase. We're right back there, folks, into summer. So grab a hot dog and some ice cream. Things are looking very well. Institutional confirmation, when you see volatility hit 52-week lows, they don't care for hedges. They're literally not worth as much as they were with S&Ps, 7,500. So again, look for this to bleed out volatility towards, like I said, 25 even. That's the decline of about another 2%. They're hating it today, obviously down 3%. View up on the day, 25.60. It's right there, right here, right now. And on any kind of a balance, scare, geopolitical, blah, 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 tech getting too overheated, I would look for this to bounce to 28 even, and then they'll sell it again. Confirming as well, another indicator, risk totally on. It's not just Korea being up 9%. They're selling the staples. If you were Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson, they sold healthcare as well. You had no love today. They don't want you. You're not getting a premium. Your growth is minimal. We're going to be in AI memory that is growing gangbusters. It's as simple as that. And they're going to go to where the puck is going. This group peaked on February 17th, starting to maybe sniff out of the war. The dollar was doing some things. Rates were moving. Look at the nice floor it put in here, literally right after the war, 2 weeks after, from late March through mid-April, right there at an 81 floor. And basically it's proving, it's serving here as our 200-day moving average, flat line at 81.40, ugly rejection here. May 19th, someone actually paid nearly $87 for this, and it's gotten to Kembate here. Big day, down 1.4% for the staples. Why would you buy Pepsi in a generational risk on vibes market? I don't like staples here. If I'm calling for new all-time highs in Taiwan, Korea, S&P, new lows for VXX in the next 2 weeks, I don't want to be owning staples. I know every squirrel gets a nut in terms of capital markets. That's not exactly the tape here. They're loving, Taiwan space ETFs. It's not Campbell's soup and Pepsi, I assure you. So look for this to bleed out over the next 10 days or so. I like this one for a visit to the 200-day moving average, potentially a small tap below, but I bet you once it gets to right around 81.5, we're going to have some sort of labor scare or something the next week, and then they're going to bid this up and it'll hold. So in terms of, I don't really like anything. I wouldn't buy puts because it doesn't move enough. It's pretty slow, but to me, this one's got $2 to go. If you're absolutely insanely bored, I guess you could buy the, it's dumb, September puts, or sell the 85 June calls. But again, it's XLP, super low vol. You're not going to get paid dollar ATR on an $80 stock. So just observing, that's more so than anything risk on. They are hating this thing. And the other thing they're selling to new 52-week lows, the only thing I could say that about is volatility and Indonesia. Oh my goodness, really just a horrendous chart. I'm guessing just horrendous things are going on over here, like dinosaurs are walking around and just horrendous things for Indonesia. The market peaked in mid-January at $19 and down a massive $7, oversold. This hasn't, just a horrible chart. I don't know what else to say. When you look at your 52-week lows from your data provider, it's today volatility in Indonesia. Indonesia's been doing it, honestly, ever since it really came on my radar at the end of April. There's just international relations and a lot of things going on. I wouldn't just straight buy puts here. This looks really low to me. I know it's not a massive market. This should get a dead cat bounce, in my opinion, to 14. I'm not going to play it. I don't short also $13, $12 stocks with a 17 RSI. So I think to me, the easy money's been made, but it is on my radar. Indonesia not participating in the global bull market. New 52-week low for the Indonesians. Top three gainers the past 5 days. Let's get into some other charts here. See if I can fill in the background. Okay. The number one place to be over the past 5 days, semiconductors, baby, up 14% over the past 5 days are nearly 3% a day to new all-time highs today. My goodness gracious, your boy is long here. All straight green since the 19th. That's 7 days in a row. Today at 5%. My goodness, on a trailing 3% average on the short term. This thing is bucking. When you have Marvell going up that much, this is not looking weak anytime soon. In terms of targets, the only way I would play this is the breakout system here. Look at this ATR. That's ridiculous. 21 buckaroonies. It's absolutely insane. 2x that for all you home gamers is, last I checked, $42. I just bought some TAN solar. I just got filled on TAN, which is also having 52-week high breakout in TAN. That is not one of my charts we're going to look at today, but solar bringing out also an option for that was iClean. They're loving growth, assets. So that's all I'll say. Anything that has, growth in the future is really being gobbled up. So here, 2x on this is a very, very hot to let it run $42. So you can do 1.5. I do that in some instances. So that's a $30 reduction. So you can buy it right here, right now. Buy the SOXX. If it goes against you down 30, it's a little wide. I understand, but the thing's up 30 today. So basically a 5% stop loss. Get out. Because it's likely going, when you have that stop right there at 535, get out. It's very possibly dropping to the 21-day exponential, which is 500 even, and then get out. That's all. You'll get a better entry. But do understand, again, this thing's been above 60 RSI like much of the market since the ceasefire. As soon as the ceasefire happened, they ran into the semis, and I was one of them. And it was overbought for almost 2 months. So this is just absolutely insane. SOXX, the best place to be in all the land. Over the past 5 days, SOXX up 14%, astonishing. Number 2, and I'm not going to kick a dead horse on this because we just covered it, but EWI, number 2, again, SOXX, you need the chips. Number 2, South Korea is the AI memory game. This is Hynix, this is Samsung, and a lot of, ADRs we don't have easy participation through, which is why EWI is just an amazing vehicle. I'm always happy to trade it and own it. Ridiculous candle if you're looking at what I'm looking at on my screen. Volatile, yes, about 13% over the past 5 days and up 9 today. Maybe it's shooting its brains out on this bearish divergence. Again, don't be shocked. You're saying it here. This could very well drop to 177, a 21-point reduction, more than 10% in the next handful of days. Very possible, and that's why I use those ATR stops. Reminder, it's 9 on this. 2x would be 18, or if you use 1.5, it would be about 15-ish. All right, that's number 2. And then number 3, again, the global passport thing, is Taiwan, up 11% or 2% and change a day, getting strength. Obviously, you're up 5%. Let's look at what they've been liquidating. The biggest loser over the past week, USO. No interest in oil here. I want to check my notes because obviously that was a big thing for what I was talking about last week on JC's show. I had said, I was on the show last Monday, I said oil was going to stay high, and then the gold miners, we hit 52-week highs. It did it that day, and now it's been bleeding out. Again, the markets don't have to do exactly what you say. You could be right in terms of a condition, and then it gives everything back. So it's insane. I said it was going to do it over the next 2 weeks. It did it literally that day, shot its brains out, ugly-looking candle. Next day, indecisive, up 2%, and then obviously a huge gap down 5.5% then. Right here for oil, don't like it right here, obviously, for the next 2 weeks. So 2 things real fast here. Maybe there's some trades will come out of this. I think it holds around that 141 level mark. I don't think it's absolutely garbage asset commodity where they're, like oil went negative back during, the COVID days. I don't think we're like that. This still has amazing money flow, honestly, since February. And last I checked, that was the month before the war. So there's still amazing institutional flow here. It's still relative strength versus SPY, kicking butt since Feb 1. I don't hate oil. Is it the place to be for the next 2 weeks? I don't think so. I think the floor is probably between 125 to 129. I like the higher lows here. Actually, structurally beautiful. April 17th, 114. May 7th, 128. And then boom, today, 134. Very healthy to me. Like I said, I think it goes south over the next 2 weeks, somewhere around that 129 level. I don't hate the ideas. I like the price discovery here that occurred over the past month or two. I think selling the 148 calls, if they pay you anything, going 3 weeks so you collect that theta decay, is a worthy trade. Also, do understand though, when I'm looking here, it's above 48 RSI the whole year. So how many assets we have said that, not just after April 7th ceasefire, but the entire year. Oil is one of them. So that's also probably, like I said, I don't think you're going to get paid a ton. I don't really think, selling oil calls is the best trade in the whole world right here. I'll just stick out. There's many other things. VXX 52-week lows, markets, many all-time highs breaking out. I wouldn't sell calls on something else. There's a better trade out there. But I am just perceiving what I'm looking at here. Otherwise, this looks like to me it is going to go a little bit lower in the next 2 weeks. Don't love the idea of buying. You could buy August or September, like 132 puts, quickly scalp them as soon as you have the profit once it gets to that target. But oil, the worst place to be in the past week, down 8%, or an average of 1% and change a day today, getting strength into that trend. Number 2 worst place to be, volatility. We already captured that. It's only second worst after oil. Oil's actually down 8%. VXX down 6% in the same time frame, past 5 days. New 52-week lows for that sucker. And then the one I really liked, but unfortunately I got stopped out, the commodity fund, PDBC, down 4%. Of course, oil is a major holder of this. It also has silver, metals, other things. It peaked. Also the same day I was on the show, hit 1895. That was a 52-week low. And here we are today. Interesting candle popping out at me. Yes, it is down 1.3%. Why are we talking about it right here, right now? It is the third worst place to be in all the ETFs, down 4%. An average of basically 80 bips or so. It's a day, getting strength into that. Ugly looking candle, but VWAP is 17.99. It's basically there right now. I want to see if it closes above 18, but PDBC, like I said, I got stopped out with a gain. I don't like this one, similar to what it says for oil. This also has very strong flows correlated with oil, like I said, since mid-January, and the money flow, the 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock hour, has been really important. And this is the lowest RSI it's been in all of 2026. We'll see if the buyers step in. But like I said, I'm stopped out, no horse in that race. Top 3 trades of the past 5 days. If you've been long SOXX, I am. EWY, I am today again, thankfully. And long EWT, congratulations, you're absolutely king slaying this market. Bring the Horizon reference. Top 3 trades of the past 52 weeks. My favorite part of the show, as soon as I see these specific tickers pop up, I try to somewhat anchor my portfolio to them. EWY, your number 1 king, up 236% year over year. My goodness, that's not a 2x semis ETF, although it acts like it. That is the number 1 ETF in all the land, okay? And that's the chart. Respect it, allocate to it. The way to do it's the ATRs, man. Buy the breakout. It's 9 ATR. Buy it right here, right now. If you want to really give it a full leash, you give it an $18, which is 2 ATR. If it gets to 180, you get stopped out. Otherwise, enjoy the profits. I think it's got a decent time ahead, though not linear. It will be rocky. Number 2, best ETF in all the land. We've covered all these. These are hitting momentum from last year through today, okay? Just continuing. This isn't new. I remember presenting on a lot of this in January, to be honest. SOXX up 178%. I bought more this morning, okay? Don't have this, some people say, oh, it got too high, too fast. No, the Knicks haven't lost in a month. Sometimes things can work out longer than your brain can comprehend. Don't be skeptical. You'll end up on the short end of the stick. And that is a SOXX. We already did this earlier, when the biggest gainers of the day. And the last one, we'll get out of here. Your number 3 gainer of the year, and this is not getting any strength right here, it's silver. Okay, believe it or not, up 126% year over year is silver. It is not hitting strides like the tops of the year over year, like EWI and SOXX. I didn't massage the data or anything like that. Truly, the number 3 is top 3 is South Korea, semiconductors, and silver. Silver, oh, my voice squeaked up there like Peter Brady. January 29th, it peaked when it had this, truly blew its brains out. You can see that when it goes to 110 and then literally 2 days later it goes to 68. You got way too drunk, hungover, and you vomited type deal. Now you are sub 50 RSI. Ugly rejection here on the 13th. It tried to get to 81 and it could not. And then boom, you're under the significant moving averages again. I think silver's in the penalty box for just a handful of days. I think it's going to try and test that 63 low it had encountered at the end of April, basically very close to it. I still think it's going to hold its 200-day moving average and maintain the structure. To me, I think what we're seeing is, I'm not going to do the overlay right now, but it would be this big rectangular box that you remember from like GLD last year. It's what gold did. It basically put in this huge pattern in a huge rectangular box and then massive breakout. I foresee kind of something happening like this, although the silver is being, much weaker for longer. It's very much being contained between 60 and 80. I think this, like I said, goes to 63. If you're bullish, I'd rather buy with confidence. I'd rather buy the first close above 70.5, which is a 21-day exponential moving average. Or if you want to be an extra, lazy trader, a real confirmation would be a close above 81. and that's pretty much it. But this should have a bullish 2 weeks, like I said, probably to get you to max that resistance at $77, $78. It looks tired to me. So if you wanted something that looks kind of appetizing and is kind of cheap and it gives you potential exposure if you have none, though understand the wind may not be fully to your back. Selling the 63 puts going out, June expiry, or buying the, I don't know, something intriguing to me about the 77, like September calls. I'd have to check the option chain liquidity and all that. And of course, when you get to your target, get the what out. All right. Thank you for joining. It's been quite a day. Check your statements. You should be fun, happy, fat, and giddy. Summer's here. We're all-time market gangbusters all over the place. If you're short, there's bear meat everywhere. Be careful. Okay. Peace. Rocky, you want to say bye? Let's just say bye.